Hey everyone, Burly Gaming here. Well, here to talk the final season of The Boys, Season 5. It has finally come. Finale aired today, May 20th. Recording it on May 20th. I watched the episode early in the morning. I wanted to have some time, the finale. I wanted to have some time to just sit and kind of process it. Then I asked community members and put it on social media, should I record a video? I got told I have to do it, so figure, why not? Let's just sit here and talk. You know what? I really enjoyed this show. I know there has been some ups, there's been some downs. You know what? I'm just going to say this. We are going to go into spoilers. I will try and not spoil everything, kind of thing, but talking about the finale, the whole final season without spoilers, it's kind of hard. Yes, they only had 8 episodes to do this, but did they use it good enough? I think overall they did a good job. I'm going to kind of just do non-spoilers right now. I think they did a good enough job with it. It is hard to wrap up a show well. There have been so many shows I have loved over the years, and you get to the final season finale, and it just doesn't work. The Sopranos. Overall, the final season I enjoyed. There are good moments. There are some moments in there that I didn't enjoy. But that finale, I hated that. I hated that finale. That finale sucked. Thankfully, the finale of this is much better than the Sopranos one. But I think they brought some characters back, and some of the resolutions for some of the characters, I feel, was a good job. Like, there are some, how things ended for the Deep, for example. That was really good. And certain other characters that I feel they did well, and some I'm not surprised, and some I saw coming. So you had a good balance of stuff you will see coming and won't. And I have not read the comics, but I know the original comic ending. They do pay homage to it, and I must say the actors are the best thing of the show. Their acting is so good. Carl Urban is 10 out of 10 with him as Billy Butcher. Anthony Starr, Homelander, 10 out of 10. Amazing. Like, they need to win awards, and like the rest of the main cast, great still. Like Aaron Moriarty as Starlight, and Jack Quaid as Huey, great. And Homer Kappelman as Frenchie, Aaron Kuharu as Kimiko, and Lazo Alnoso, Milk. Great job. Okay. Kind of hard to keep talking about it on spoilers, so you know what? Spoilers. There you go. I think I've given enough warning. It all ends with volcano porn. Sorry, I had to put that in there because I remember Fry and I were streaming some Dead Island 2 at the time, and the first 2 episodes had come out, and Boo Boo said, "I don't want to spoil it," because he was talking in the chat there, in the stream chat. Like, all I'll say is volcano porn. Seen the second episode, you know. I really like how they brought back Soldier Boy. They set it up at the end of season 4, and how when they first brought him up and first using him for the first episode, they brought him back. Great, loved it. It was like, this is perfect. And then you find out he is immune to the virus, and he's pissed off with Homelander, but he's kind of wishy-washy with Homelander throughout the season. He does help Homelander, and Homelander screws him and puts him back into cryogenic. Like, okay, I kind of wish they would have had a little bit more with him, and maybe I can get the wishy-washiness, but I wish he was a little more consistent. I understand that from people, but Jensen Ackles acts his ass off and does an amazing job. as the character. Now, just the virus plot that we had from the last season, I feel they do a good job with it. You get to see that they do testing with the virus, and they all reunite, like they get rescued in the first episode. Huey, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie are rescued by Butcher, Kimiko, Starlight, and someone who they recruit to help them break into the Termcat prison. And that was a good scene, and I do like as they're doing that and stuff, they had asked for, earlier in the episode, they had reached out to A-Train for help, and A-Train ends up helping them, and A-Train got a great moment, redeemed himself, could have survived if he would have ran through that one person, instead of killing her, and killed her. He could have, maybe outran Homelander and survived, but no, he didn't want to kill her, so changed his direction, but unfortunately he met his end to Homelander. Rest in peace, A-Train. A-Train. I really like that they had that redeem arc for him. The Deep, what can I say? The Deep just, you knew there was going to be no redeeming for him, and I like how he just kept being the butt of the joke as the seasons went on, and he tries to act like Andrew Tate and gets screwed in a lot of ways throughout the season, some ways, and I love the whole thing with the second to last episode. Samuel Jackson voices the shark and tells him to stay out of the ocean. We know you screwed us. And then with the finale getting flung into the ocean, and maybe 10 seconds in, all the sea creatures near there all getting into him and just killing. It was just such a satisfying Jeff Kiss moment that was just like, oh, I love it. Like, great. So we have new characters that get introduced, like Father, who overall not a bad character. I wish they could have fleshed him out. He is married to Ashley. How they kill him in the finale is hilarious. Well, he more kills himself accidentally, which I do like. And Ashley, we find out at the end of the last season, she took some V1, and she gets powers. I'm trying to see if we can get a quick photo here. She gets a second head on the back, face on the back of her head, and it can read minds. And it's like, okay, it's an interesting dynamic, and she does live, but she does get screwed over in the end. Rightfully so. Now, one character, I know this has been a huge thing, Sister Sage. I think they did an okay job with Sage in this season. Like, you can see some of her plans and ideas, but because she doesn't, go for the human emotional fact, I think it's explained later in the season, so a lot of her plans throughout season 5 don't work. And it's like, how could you, I know other reviewers would be like, how could she be this dumb and this and that? Yeah, I get it. Like, I think they could have done a better job with her. And I feel because she's supposed to be the smartest person ever in the world. But I think they did a fine enough job. I still think it could be better, and you can explain it. The explanation I give you, I get it. Some people are okay with, and some people are not. It's everyone's own opinion. But yeah, and the only member of the team, Butcher's team, to die. Technically, to Frenchie, the first person to die, and I didn't mind Frenchie's death. I think they did a pretty good job with it, and it does give you the emotional weight, and especially for Kimiko. And him and Kimiko really did have a lot with the season. Yes, I know there was the will they, won't they. They go back and forth between loving each other a lot and stuff. I didn't mind that I know some people didn't like it as much, but I can understand. But I think they did Frenchie's death very well, and like for the finale, like you get his funeral. The funeral scene was like, okay, and then they had to be reading the letter, and it's like, I've seen all your ass. Like, why? Why? We don't need this. You can show a funeral thing. You don't have to. You don't even have to see them really Huey reading the letter, just being like, rest in peace, Frenchie. They all, do a moment of silence and give sad moments for Kimiko. Like you could have done that, and I feel that would have been much better. And also cut, giving you more time for the episode. Now, Homelander, I think they did really good with the season, but some of these posters, yeah, they're a lie. This one, just him hovering above the planet. Yeah, you don't get that. That's like really kind of not. I hate that when they're doing shit like that, telling you this and that. Really. Firecracker, her episode. I really like her episode, her final episode, and she gets killed. She believes in Homelander, but is not, doesn't fully believe because she has her religious upbringing and stuff, and all her stuff. It was like, yeah, it was sad. It sucked to see her go, but it was an interesting how she gets killed was interesting. And the Black Noir that they brought in from the last season, new Black Noir, not bad, but how he died and getting killed by the Deep was like, really? I don't buy that. Really don't buy that at all. And one character I kind of feel for this season, they kind of really did a disservice, is Starlight. I understand she has gone through hell throughout this whole show, but she, for a lot of fights in this season, feels way too weak. And it's like, I get it. She is stressed and gone through all this hell, and you can feel for her, but I feel she could have done a little bit better. Her fight with the Deep was satisfying, but I still wish they could have I feel they could have done a little bit better with her. And what we get with Ryan throughout the season, I think, was pretty good. Again, it still could have been better, but like, the thing is with these 8 episodes, there was stuff they could have cut and expanded on into other areas that would really help. But it's not an easy. It's hard to. I know it's hard for them to pick. It's not easy. Like bringing Stan Edgar back, great. He was awesome throughout the show, and I love seeing him in this, having him come back. But yeah, there's just there's just a lot to say, and I don't want to just go into a long rants here, because then I'm just gonna get off topic on stuff. But Homelander, they did great with him. For the first bit of the season, searching for V1 so he can become immortal. He ends up getting it, and then when he gets it, great. And some of it, he's just like, yep, kills the president. He's in charge. He wants to run his own religion and all that. Everyone bow and worship to him. He's a god. I do like that, and he's like trying to use psychics to read people's mind, make sure he knows which people are validating, people agree with him and don't. That is cool, but it's just like, I would have thought he would have gone on some rampages and destroying some cities and stuff. That would have been cool to see, but you don't really get that. So that's kind of sucks. But I do love when he's talking to Ashley in the White House and being like, we need to ban nut milk. Evil's greatest sin is ever true, making us think nuts could make milk. I just love that scene and that line, and he goes through his whole milk exception through the season. But one thing I will agree with most people throughout the season is like, you spent a lot of time with Soldier Boy and other stuff to set up the other freaking prequel show, Vought Rising, with which is going to be starring Soldier Boy, Bombsight, and some other characters, and Stormfront. And it's like, like a little too much on that. You could have spent that time and effort into other things to help out the show and not feel as rushed on some of this. The final fight with Homelander, Butcher, Ryan gets involved in Kimiko. Overall is good, but I feel Homelander, like, because he knows they experimented on Kimiko and give her the same powers as Soldier Boy. You would think he would just try and take her out, or I know he does try to fly away a few times, and Ryan stops him, Butcher stops him a few times, but it is. You'd think he'd target Kimiko, because when Butcher tells her to come in and use it, he just lasers Butcher or her to go down, and then does the slow kind of laser to get to. It's like, really? I can't see Homelander at this unhinged at this point, feeling he's a god and all that. Not just go, oh, she's my one big thing. Let me just laser her or grab her and run her through a bunch of walls and get out of the White House and get her away. And then I'll come back and kill you, Butcher, at any time. So it's like, yeah. But when Homelander does lose his powers and Butcher gets the crowbar and, beat the shit out of him, he's begging for his life. It is interesting and very funny to see. But I do find it satisfying when he is killed and dead. And then the little party they have, the boys celebrating. Sadly, Terror passed away, which sucks. But once that happens, you notice the change in Butcher. Grabs what's left of the virus and goes to do a thing of putting it into the water. Where the water comes out of the sprinklers and, just set it off. So when people come back to Vought Tower and stuff like that, it's going to rain on them and kill a bunch of soups, and it'll spread everywhere. And mass killing soups. Huey was the one who kind of noticed it. Huey goes the one and stops, shoots him, and kills him. And I do like Butcher's death scene and all that. Very good. And then you get this thing of on Butcher's tombstone. At the bottom of it, oi, cunt. You have to kind of have that because it is this catchphrase. No, overall, I enjoyed the finale and the final season. There are problems. It is not a perfect 10 out of 10 season or a 9 or even an 8. There are good moments of it. If I have to give the whole season a number, I give it a 7 out of 10. I feel you get your enjoyment. There are great scenes. Even in the episodes you might not enjoy as much, there'll be great scenes, great character moments with certain characters that really elevates it, and the writing's good for that. But then there's some really stuff that is just like, why are you spending time and wasting time on that? Yeah. Love to hear from you all in the comment section. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Love to hear from you all in the comment section. Please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help the video get out to more people. And if you're new here and you like what you see, consider hitting that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way you get notified when next videos drop out. We're working our way to 500 subscribers, and when we hit that, we'll have to get the Virtual Boy for the Switch 2 and make some videos and content on that. Alrighty, I think that's enough of me rambling. Burly Gaming. See y'all next time. Bye, everyone!